Let's get the bad taste of that Super Bowl out of my mouth. I love the theme song, man. It just brings me back to my childhood so much. And they did it right. The SNES version sounds pretty good for the time. Let's reset and we'll start it over. This must be the best theme song of any cartoon or kid show that I ever watched. It's just so iconic. After going to Power Morphicon, I gotta say this is probably my favorite show ever. Because going to Power Morphicon really made me appreciate how great it was. And how awesome everybody is. I mean, it took me 25 years to meet all my childhood idols, so it was well worth the wait. And, you know, it just so, I guess, cathartic's the word I'm looking for. I mean, there was just no other show like it. Haim Saban knew what he was doing. This is the show of the 90s, in my opinion. I really believe that. I mean, there's no other show like it. No other show more popular. Let's see what my options are. Like, I just can't, it would take me so long to really analyze it and really tell you how much I appreciate this show and everybody involved. Just thank God it existed. Damn you, Rita. I remember getting this for Christmas. What a great theme. That was another good theme. The music for this game is really good. I got this for Christmas of 1994. And yeah, it came out in 94. And this is probably the only Power Rangers game to feature the original 5. You don't even have Tommy. And I'm sure Tommy came out by this point, or maybe, I don't know, were they developing this game before Tommy came in? Or were they doing it like right off the bat? I don't know. That's a good question. I wonder when they started development of this game. Presented in widescreen, this game. It's almost got a cinematic quality to it, doesn't it? Good old side-scrolling beat-em-up. That's what it's all about. These games defined my childhood. Another great musical track. Look out for the guys in the trench coat. Out of the original 5, I don't know who was my favorite. That's a tough question. I think I identified most with Billy. Everybody loved Jason. I mean, they liked him and Tommy a lot. I mean, I'm sure those were the two that most people picked. Zach was so cool, though. Meeting him was awesome. I met Billy as well, David Yost. Really nice guy. They're all really nice guys. Really nice gals. Depending on who you... I haven't met Kimberly, though. Amy Jo Johnson. I really want to meet her sometime. I really wish she would go to Fanboy Expo so I could meet her, because Jason David Frank's going to be there, and I'm going to meet him again. I've met him twice now. Could have met him at Power Morphicon, but I've already met him twice, so I figured, yeah, I got better things to do. Other people to meet that I haven't met yet that you don't get the opportunity to every day. Especially with Power Morphicon. I don't know when you get to meet the other guys involved, like the people that are lesser known. And it's Morphin time! Like, how do you ever get to meet guys like Philip Andrew played Merrick in Wild Force? You know, stuff, people like that. How do you get a chance to meet those guys? They probably don't do any other conventions, if I had to guess. I would say Power Morphicon's a nice payday for them. I gotta remember how to do a bomb. You know, guys like that, I'm sure, they're probably just doing their own thing and probably don't have much of a convention scene. But Jason David Frank, man, he's carried the flag, and rightfully so. I mean, he's the most iconic character, and really, I don't think there's anybody else that could, you know? Oh, you can pick up the bench! I would say out of all the Power Rangers, I mean, who would be the second most popular Power Ranger? Probably Kimberly. Or maybe somebody from In Space. I'm trying to think. That's a hard question. I mean, it could be somebody like Rocky. But I don't think Rocky's character was all that great. I mean, he was good. I mean, he was just like Jason in certain ways, but... It's a tough one. Who would be the second most popular Power Ranger of all time? I think you'd have to give that to Kimberly. I really do. Because so many girls identify with Kimberly, and I think most boys my age and of my time really identified with her being, like, their first crush. She's just the Valley girl, man. Everybody wanted to be with. Just kind of how it went. Okay. Bombs away, bitch! But yeah, I guess you give it to Kimberly or maybe Jen from Time Force, Aaron Cahill. I think you'd have to consider either one of those. I still think Aaron Cahill is the most iconic Pink Ranger ever. Jen Scott's. I think she's way more iconic in terms of being a leader, in terms of being powerful, determination. It's just, Kimberly's character was just about her being kind of a prototypical Valley girl, you know? Whereas, you know, Jen Scott's was just fucking badass. And she was pretty much the unofficial leader of that team. I don't know. I guess you consider Wes the leader of the team? But I almost feel like you have to give it to Jen Scott's. Because she was there first. I mean, she knew the Time Force team better than anybody. She had more of a personal involvement with what was going on. Wes was just sort of the guy chosen because he happened to be related to Alex. Hey, I got him. I could have a full, like, 3-hour discussion about Power Rangers and never get bored. I mean, I feel like out of all the popular Power Rangers and all the popular actors, thank God for the easy power-ups. Or not the easy power-ups, but the easy passwords. I'm not gonna play as the same person all the time. Let's go with Zach. I'll do Kimberly next. Andros is probably another good candidate for second greatest Power Ranger ever, or one of the best. He's a strong candidate. I mean, he did defeat Zordon, or kill Zordon, I should say. He didn't defeat him. That would have been interesting. Now that I'm thinking about it, like, how cool would that have been if Zordon went bad in space? Like, how cool would that have been? And, like, let's say, like, they explained it in a way that, like, his life force was attached to all the bad guys, and you had the Z-Wave just the same, and it, like, killed all the bad guys in one fell swoop, just like it did originally, but just with the caveat that he was a bad guy, but his life force somehow supplied the evil in the world. I don't know how you would explain that, though. How would you turn Zordon into a bad guy? Maybe you get corrupted by something, you know, like a virus. Maybe like Dark Spectre turned... What the fuck, dude? Asshole. I'm not liking Zach too much here. This is not going well. I'm gonna do drop kicks. I gotta stay in the air. I think that would have been really, really interesting to see if they had turned Zordon evil at any point during In Space. I think that would have been an amazing plot twist. But then again, how do you explain him, you know, basically founding the Power Rangers? Asshole. And I get to start all the way over, okay. Fucking knives, man. This is not a fucking knife fight. This is Power Rangers. I do wonder, I mean, there's so many other plots that you could go into and be like, well, what if this had been different? Like, what if Zordon Z-Wave wasn't even in the picture, like, explaining how to get rid of everybody? I mean, that, to me, probably was the most logical way of ending In Space or ending that timeline of events. I just don't see how you could have ended the series any other way. I think the Countdown to Destruction episode might be, you know, for me, the most impactful, strong, amazing Power Rangers moment that I always revisit, even more so than Green with Evil. I mean, don't get me wrong, the introduction of Tommy Oliver is an amazing storyline, and really a... What's the word I'm looking for? It was revolutionary because nobody did 5-part episodes before, you know? They took 5 episodes to tell the story. It made it even better. That they were able to draw out the story as much as possible and just have it be a perfect way to introduce such an iconic character. You know? That, to me, is the reason why Green with Evil always stands out as the best. Is because it hooked us in. and it told a great story, and it introduced such an iconic brand. Jason David Frank, I mean, he sold the role so well. But the writing for that 5-parter was just incredible. Really ahead of its time for a show like that. For a kid's show, that 5-parter is pretty awesome. It's Morphin time! Mastodon! Finally, I can use a fucking weapon. Let me think of some other topics. Oh, if you're wondering who I think the hottest Power Ranger is, there's no debate. It's Jen Scott's. No debate. Kimberly is my first crush, as, you know, probably most kids at that time at my age. But you can't deny Erin Cahill being much more attractive than Amy Jo. It's not even close. Hold on. I'm trying to figure this out. I don't know how I did that, and I just wasted my bomb for no reason. Oh, it's just double tap. Okay. Erin Cahill still looks so hot to even now. Like, when I met her, I was, like, blown away at how beautiful she was. Like, I saw some promo pics of her, too. Like, she was wearing, like, a fitness outfit, like a bikini or something. And, like, I just about fucking lost it. Like, it's just... I don't want to sound sexist, but oh my god. I'm sorry. She's so attractive. And I don't even think I'm being sexist. I'm just complimenting about how hot she is. Favorite male Power Ranger? I don't know. I mean, I think I already said I identified most with Billy. I really loved Eric and Wes. I think that's a close one for me. I think those two stand out pretty well for me. Carter Grayson. I think he's my favorite Red Ranger. No, he is my favorite Red Ranger. I'm absolutely positive about that. Carter Grayson, Sean C.W. Johnson, the fucking man. I think Carter Grayson is, to me, one of the huge reasons the way I am the way I am. Like, why I am the way I am. I'm trying to say that. Like, I think that makes so much sense. When I really look back and think, like, where did I get that I'm jumping into everything feet first? Or head first, I should say. Whatever way you want to look at it. I'm diving into this, and I'm going to make this work sort of scenario. Okay. How do I get up there? Yep, Carter Grayson's my favorite Red Ranger. Oh, I got a wall jump. I forgot you could do that. Let me think. Favorite Blue Ranger. I don't have to say who's my favorite Green Ranger, because, you know, it's pretty much well-spoken, or well said that, like, pretty much everybody thinks he's the greatest Green Ranger, at least. Shit. Okay, so you got Billy. You got Rocky. You got Justin. We're not gonna fucking talk about Justin. It's not so much that I hate Blake Foster, it's that I hate his concept. I don't like the idea of a kid being a Power Ranger. It just... Yeah, I get why they did it. Ultimately, I understand why they went for it. It's just on a show like that, it just... The very few people who really saw that fan-wise and thought, oh, that's pretty cool, were few and far between. It really just left a lot more questions than answers. I tend to agree with the popular opinions about Justin. I've watched several videos on Turbo. I'm not a fan of Turbo, so I would say... I'd say Justin's not my favorite. He's not the worst. I think there's probably worse Blue Rangers somewhere. I stopped watching after SPD, so it's like really hard for me to say, okay, this is, you know, the worst Blue Ranger when I don't really know. When I've only watched probably half the series in total. It's a garden gnome. Whoops. Okay, so TJ becomes the Blue Ranger in space. I love Selwyn Ward. I think he's a super cool guy. I like the look of TJ as well. I think that's a good one. Is that it? Yeah. Cool. Okay, so Lost Galaxy was Kai, right? Archie Cow. Lightspeed was Chad. Then he had Lucas in Time Force. Then he had Max for Wild Force. You know, there's just, now that I think about it, there's not that many good Blue Rangers that I remember, you know? You have, let me think about this. Okay, so we've established there's not that many good Blue Rangers. Damn it! Alright, so I would probably say my favorite Blue Ranger. I just feel like the Blue Ranger a lot of the time is wasted potential. You know, as cool as the color blue is, now that I think about it, there's not that many good Blue Rangers. Billy, I'd say Billy. I'm gonna say Billy, because out of all the ones I can think of that I watched, then that's it, you know? That's gotta be it. I'd say second's TJ. Then after that, they just kind of all fall into place. You know, they're all kind of generic. Like, Lucas's character is cool in concept. Like, I guess he's supposed to be a suave, cool guy. I guess that's how it's written. He doesn't really do anything. I feel like most Blue Rangers just don't do anything. You know, I look back, I think, like, there's just not a whole lot there for Blue Rangers. I feel like Billy at least contributed something. And hell, I like TJ. So I'm gonna say Billy and then TJ. That's it. Those are the top two. The rest just kind of... I guess Lucas is sadly third. I do like Michael Copon. I think it's a good look. Just not a good character. I feel like a lot of Blue Rangers just... They have the look, they just don't have the character. There's nothing for me to, like, think back and be like, oh my god, I really enjoyed that. About any Blue Ranger. So I'd say for Pink Rangers, it's Jen Scott's followed by Kimberly, and then Blue Rangers, it's Billy followed by TJ. Black Rangers. Favorite Black Rangers. That is a tough one as well. Carlos, Zach, Adam. Who else we got? Then I'm crawling! What the fuck? Okay, so Lightspeed, Lost Galaxy, who were... There was no Black Ranger. Yep, there were no Black Rangers in those two. Same for Time Force. So yeah, it's kind of a limited spread with Black Rangers too. Huh. Everybody loves Zach. I mean, I think Zach's good. Adam's probably been there the longest out of any of them. Carlos was okay. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I'd say Zach, I guess. I guess it falls in the line of who's the best Black/Green Ranger. Thank you. Hey, I'm wall jumping like Mega Man X. The music's so good. So Green Rangers, I mean, of course Tommy. Then Adam. Carlos. I mean, I loved Joel Rawlings. Lightspeed Green Ranger was awesome. Trip. Okay, other than... I would say, other than Tommy, Trip is a very strong candidate for second best. I really like Trip. He's just as weird in real life, by the way. I think that was perfect. Like, the way Trip is, he's kind of awkward in the show. Like, I really appreciated that some of the guys in real life were just like their TV counterparts in Power Rangers. Yeah. I'd say, yeah, of course, Tommy and then Trip. Yeah. I really like Trip, man. So we got Yellow Rangers now. Haven't talked about Yellow Rangers. That's tough. That's tough also, because I don't really have much to go on there either. I don't, you know, you had Aisha, Trini, then you had Tanya. You know, I didn't watch when Tanya was on, honestly. Like, I got into it after she left. Like, after In Space, like, after Lost Galaxy. See, there's the thing. I watched Power Rangers from Mighty Morphin until the beginning of Zeo. And then I got out of it. But then I picked it up again with Light Speed, so I missed Turbo, most of Zeo, then Turbo, then In Space, then Lost Galaxy. I missed all of that, man. I missed fucking In Space. Like, how cool would that have been if I had managed to watch the death of Zordon live, like when it happened? I would have been upset as a kid. Like, I was blown away by it even when I watched it after the fact, like, well after the fact. I think I must have seen the Zordon ending in Countdown to Destruction, maybe... I don't know. When did I watch that for the first time? It must have been while I was watching either Time Force or Wild Force. I think it was Time Force that time, like 2000, 2001. That was the first time I watched Countdown to Destruction. Haha, gotcha. So, I don't really have a good track of Yellow Rangers. Katie from Time Force. That's it. I gotta say, Time Force and In Space are probably the top two for most fans. I don't know if... I get the feeling that Time Force is, you know... I won't say it's overrated, because it's still a really good show, but I just feel like when people really love Time Force, it's like they have to shove it in your face. Like, they let you know in no uncertain terms how awesome Time Force is. Now it's Billy's turn. What is he doing? I love the punching. He's got a unique style, man. Billy is a little unique right now. What the fuck? What is he doing? That doesn't even hardly look like Billy, except for the overalls. Yeah, Time Force, I think most of the Time Force cast, I can safely say, would be in my top 1 or 2 on every single color category. Even the villain, Rancic, is awesome. I mean, having fucking Vernon Wells play the villain. Fucking bad guy from Commando and Mad Max 2. I mean, just, wow. Like, how cool was that? They were probably sitting around thanking their lucky stars that they got Vernon Wells to play such a great character. But also because it's fucking Vernon Wells, you know? It's not just some random actor playing Rancic, it's Vernon Wells, the bad guy from an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. And not just, you know, an okay Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. It's actually pretty good. You know, there's okay Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. But I think Commando is one of those forgotten classics. I watched that for the first time recently, and I enjoyed it very much. But, you know, just the fact that you got a guy of the caliber of Vernon Wells to play that character, I think is a real testament to how good Time Force is. Strong acting from everybody, strong character development, strong characters in general, minus Lucas. I mean, I definitely get the hype for Time Force, because I'm there with you. I mean, I'm right there with most people who, you know, really like Time Force. I totally agree with you. But to me, nothing tops the death of Zordon. In Space should stay number one forever. I just don't know when they'll come up with something more cathartic and amazing. It was an amazing payoff and farewell to an iconic 90s character. And I thought that was really cool that Bryan Cranston ended up playing Zordon. Not just because, you know, it's Bryan Cranston. I mean, come on, he's fucking... You know, he's Bryan Cranston, damn it! But, you know, the fact that Bryan Cranston had, you know, similar beginnings, you know, he's kind of a nothing at the time when he was helping out with Mighty Morphin doing voiceover work. And now he's fucking Walter White and doing big box office movies, and really has a career for himself now. And he's earned it, man. Nobody could play Walter White better. And he was the perfect choice for Zordon, given the history involved. Mastodon! Pterodactyl! Triceratops! Saber-toothed tiger! Tyrannosaurus! What happened to his eyes? They've got no soul, man! I really like Lightspeed. I think Lightspeed is an underrated show for Power Rangers. I think Lightspeed, it really was kind of a... What's the word I'm looking for? It's like they hit the reset button after Lost Galaxy. Unfortunately, the villains are pretty lame. I do not like the villains for Lightspeed. I mean, they're kind of cool in a way, like it's interesting to see the demons. And they work on a superficial level, but on a character development level and an actual baddie, you know, level, like actually them being bad guys. They're pretty bad at their job. They're not good bad guys at all. They shoehorned a lot of their character development into small bits and pieces. That I didn't really appreciate. Like that random friendship between Diabolico and Lokai. You know, that to me is just lazy. You know, at least take the time to develop that. If you're gonna do something like that, I think that's with anything. If you're gonna do something on that level, at least play it out. At least have something there for the fans to get attached to. But there isn't. Like I said, the bad guys in Lightspeed are just not that good. And don't even get me started on fucking Vipra. But fun fact, Diane Salinger, who played Simone in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, one of my favorite films, is the voice of Banshira. If it weren't for Carter Grayson and Lightspeed, I think I'd probably not like Lightspeed all that much. I think Carter Grayson saves that show in a lot of ways. I love Captain Mitchell. I loved Ryan Mitchell's character, too. Having a uniquely U.S. Power Ranger was pretty awesome. Ron Roget does a pretty good job playing Captain Mitchell. I don't think I hate his character. I don't think I hate the actor involved. I think he's a good actor, too. He's been in lots of different things. He's in one of my favorite episodes of that 70s show, Street Fighting Man. Plays Cheesehead. When I met Ron, I actually got him to sign a 8x10 of that still where he's mocking Red and Eric. Because that's just such a great episode. And it's one of my favorite TV shows, so I had to at least say something about it. Anytime an ex-Power Ranger's on that 70s show, I have to tell them about it. Just like Andros was on an episode of that 70s show, he touched Fez's hair. And only I would know that. Because I love obscure facts. Get your ass up here. Alright. Let's do the bomb, baby! D's nuts. Are you fucking serious? The fucking jump back bullshit. Thanks. This level is pretty damn long, I gotta admit. This has felt like an eternity. Your ass up here! What the fuck? Get up here! Thank you. Fuck. Thank you. Whew. Got him! Ooh, yeah. $19.70. Trini, rest in peace. Twee Trang. I'd wonder what she'd have to say about her character being the Yellow Ranger, and her specifically being the Yellow Ranger, given that she's Asian. I think Zach's pretty okay with it. I mean, overall, I mean, in hindsight, yeah, it was pretty racist, but, you know, people make mistakes, and I think that's something we've forgotten about. It's just like, people make mistakes, it's okay, you know? Hindsight is always 20/20, and to me, you just can't go back like 25 years and say, oh, well, this is racist, when, you know, something has been outdated for so long. You know, it's like the whole Apu controversy. It just doesn't matter. Ultimately, what does it really matter? That it's slightly offensive? I don't know. People just don't know how to have fun anymore or take risks. You got a fucking sword. What the hell? Other Power Ranger topics. Favorite villains. I mean, Rancic's great. Of course, Astronema is awesome. Rita Repulsa is iconic. Lord Zed. My god, when Lord Zed debuted, like, holy shit. That's a villain that they absolutely got it 100% right with. Yes, they made him pretty cartoonish after, you know, parents complained, but, you know, that's what villains are supposed to do. They're supposed to scare the shit out of kids. That's the whole point. Like, how could you not have a scary villain? What sense does that make, ultimately? Like, you have to make the guy that you're trying to pose as a villain in a show a viable threat. And believe me, when I was a kid, he scared the shit out of me. Of course he did. He's fucking Lord Zed. He's got no skin. He's got a metallic exoskeleton. It's awesome. He's all blood and veins and muscle. That's it. That's Lord Zed. Man, I would comment more about Trakina. I just never watched Lost Galaxy. I still have never properly gone and watched Lost Galaxy. Oh! Yellow Rangers that are awesome. Maya! Oh my god, Serena Vincent's such a babe. Okay, yeah, Maya's getting the points just because she's so freaking beautiful. And I'm so excited that she's gonna have a kid for the first time. Like, that's gotta be awesome, you know, for somebody who's waited that long to have kids. But man, when I found out Serena Vincent had nude scenes, you better believe my teenage body went to go look for them. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you how unbelievably shocking that was. To see a naked Power Ranger. Like, wow. As a teenager, that was like a dream come true. I had my mind fucked by that. I couldn't believe it. If he didn't have the fucking high ground, what the hell? And if you're wondering, yes, I did meet Serena Vincent at Power Morphicon. And yes, she is still fucking hot. And I believe she was pregnant when I met her, too. Yeah, because she's due to give birth any day now, so that would have been August. She'd been 3 months pregnant. Didn't even know it. Didn't even know she was pregnant. Oh, by the way, I'm aware that David Yost is gay. Billy. Which side do I believe? I think it's kind of a mixed bag. I don't think there is a definitive right answer to it, you know? You know, to me, I went and asked Scott Page Pagner, who made the TMZ comments about David Yost being a pain in the ass. And he said that he was taken out of context and that he didn't say that. David Yost, on the other hand, says that he was called faggot one too many times and walked off set one day by people on set, either producers or otherwise. I don't know exactly who. Now, as far as who called him faggot, I can't say for certain that it was Scott Page Pagner. I don't know. That's a hard question to answer. There's lots of gray area. There was a lot of, like, I don't know. There's a lot of questions I still want answered. Like, who specifically called him faggot? And for how long? Like, who specifically? Was it producers that called him that? Like, who was it? That's all I'm saying, is, like, who did it, like, in what capacity? That's all I want to know. Because I mean, based on what Scott Page Pagner told me, that he said that, you know, he didn't say those things to TMZ, or he was taken out of context or whatever. He said he never saw anything. That's also something he told me. He didn't see anything, so I'm about to fucking die. And there you go. Whoops. I'll come back. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on the Billy thing. Is like, I'm so curious as to who said it, who didn't say it, who knew, who didn't know. You know, was it really because he got called faggot one too many times? I mean, based on the virtual silence of it all from all sides, besides David Yost and Scott Page Wagner, you know, I could totally believe Billy or David Yost on this. And I could see why. I mean, like I said, there's been nothing to support one way or the other. And since there's such a lack of people coming out and saying anything against what David Yost is saying, besides Scott Page Wagner, I just, you know, I'm apt to believe David Yost. But I also don't think Scott is lying. I think he's one of those that just didn't know. I think he's one of the good guys of it all. And I do think there was probably some pay dispute, I guess. I don't know. Can't substantiate the pay dispute one way or the other. I didn't ask Scott Page Packer about the pay, actually, so I'm not even going to make a comment about the pay. But that's a rumor. That's a rumor that is floated around. It wasn't what ultimately caused him to leave, according to David Yost. I guess it's probably a mixed bag for me. I believe David Yost, but I want to know more from other people. I want to know more. There's unanswered questions. There's gaps, basically. I like him well enough as a person. I don't hate the guy. I take him at his word, you know. I don't think he's playing the victim. I think he's been doing a pretty good job of, you know, just doing his thing. I follow his Instagram. I don't think he's ever played the victim in all this. I think he's just kind of done his own thing, and that's good for him. I'm glad it didn't let him get him down, you know. Ultimately, I'm glad that he is in a mental state now where he is happy. Because I know he said, you know, he was, you know, on the brink of suicide at one point. And, you know, anybody that's on the brink of suicide is just not a good thing. You know, I've been depressed too. Depression runs in my family. I can only imagine what it's like for somebody at that time to be gay. You know, a guy like Freddie Mercury being what he was and having to deal with people calling him faggot all the time. I'm glad we're at a time where it's more acceptable. I think that's the biggest problem with a lot of people is they live their lives in fear. And that's one thing Power Rangers did for me, is that it taught me just not to live in fear, and to do your thing, be yourself. No matter how shitty you think you are, you're really not. Because there's people like you, or people or characters that you can put into the show that are like you, and you can sympathize with them and relate to those characters, and that's what Power Rangers did for a lot of us. Adrian! Hadn't seen you in a minute. What's up? Yeah, I know. Where the hell have you been? I'm playing a quick one. I've been rambling about my love for Power Rangers this whole time, so if you want to know my opinions on Power Rangers, you can probably go back and watch the recap of this. Dang it! Really? What are you going to school for, man? Been there, done that. I know how you feel. I've got a damn doctorate, for Christ's sake. I know how hard it is. Alright. What other Power Rangers topics can I talk about? Favorite episodes? No, I'm not gonna talk about that right now. It's gonna be too difficult of one to get into. I mean, I already said Countdown to Destruction, but I'll save that for a minute. Favorite putties. Or favorite henchmen, if you will. I mean, you gotta love the original Putty Patrol. The Batlings suck. I can't remember the name of the henchman from Time Force for some reason. Damn. What are they called? Those are good. I like the henchmen from Time Force. I love the Putty Patrol Force. Tengu Warriors, hit or miss. It's a mixed bag. I loved them in the movie. I didn't love them when they were in the show. Hard to explain. Who else? The Cogs. The Piranatrons. Piranatrons suck too. Lost Galaxy, I honestly don't even know who they are. Couldn't tell you. I don't know who the Lost Galaxy henchmen are. I don't know who their Putty Patrol is. Don't know. I would say I would love Lord Zed's Putty Patrol. Lord Zed's Putty Patrol are probably my favorite. They just look good. The original Putty Patrol are just bums. I love the silver Z in the middle. Who are the in-space Putty Patrols? No, I can't even remember that for some reason. Cyclobots? Are those the Time Force? I can't remember. I'm having a hard time remembering things when it comes to Putty Patrol. I don't know who the henchmen are for most shows. That's kind of sad. I watched all those shows and they fought them a million times. I should know. Quantrons. The Quantrons are cool. Stingwingers. Yeah, the Quantrons, the Silver Putty Patrol with Lord Zed. The Cyclobots. They're called Putrids in Wild Force? What? Huh. I don't remember those at all. Those were the Putty Patrol for Wild Force. I don't remember that at all. Time to go Megazord, baby. Yeah, favorite episodes, now that I've gone through most of the villains, most of the characters, most of the Putty Patrols. Lord. There's so many good ones. In Lightspeed, I would say it's probably the one with Carter Grayson realizing that the guy... Yeah! The original Megazord! Oh, that's a good topic. Favorite Megazords. Okay, you can't beat the original. Let's be honest. The first one was the best. I love that one. It's just so... I hate to use the word iconic over and over again, but it really is. It really, really is iconic. I just fucking love the original one. It's perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. It's got everything you would ever want, and then some. I'm still getting used to this. Damn it! Well, apparently that fire thing doesn't work. I'll get it together, I promise. God dang it! Down he goes! I'm gonna let that sit for a second while I think of great episodes. Favorite episode from Lightspeed has got to be the one where Carter realizes that Captain Mitchell is the guy he idolized himself over when he was a kid. The guy that saved him from the fire and made him want to become a firefighter. That's got to be the best Lightspeed episode. Don't have one for Lost Galaxy because I didn't watch that much. In Space is a gimme. Turbo... Man. I don't know. All the ones in Turbo, they're all kind of meh. So, I'm going to skip that. Zeo, can't really say. Yeah. I guess the one where Jason comes back. Mighty Morphin from each season. I mean, Green with Evil. I also love No Clowning Around for some reason. I think it's funny. The cardboard cutouts. What else? From season 2, it's got to be the one where Alpha 5 goes batshit crazy. It starts inventing the Snapchat filter. I swear, Alpha 5 invented the Snapchat filters. There's no question. I totally agree with anybody that's ever said that about that video. That's so funny. Yeah, I guess the end of season 3 where they ended the Mighty Morphin era is pretty dramatic too. Time Force. There's lots of great episodes from Time Force. I just can't pinpoint one. The finale's really good. I think most of the season is just a great story. Wild Force? I mean, Wild Force is forever red, so that's pretty non-debatable. Because Wild Force is... Nah. It is sad to see the Wild Force Rangers leave, because it is the end of an era. Once that series ends, it's pretty much, you know, the end of an original era. It's the end of Fox Kids, really. Because once they got bought out by Disney, Fox Kids folded. I wouldn't say solely because of Power Rangers being over, but it had a lot to do with it. I'm sure losing Power Rangers to ABC and Disney must have really hurt Fox Kids. I think they must have looked at that and thought, there's no way we can keep going. You know, it's just such a... It really... I won't say it made Fox Kids, but it certainly was there early on. It may not have been the first show in Fox Kids, but it was the show that really hooked people into watching Fox Kids and made people want to pay attention to it. More than just Power Rangers. You had X-Men, a lot of other shows that went to WB, like Animaniacs, Digimon. You know, I watched Digimon a lot back in the day. I mean, Saturday mornings were awesome. Yeah. I'd say that's probably where I stand with a lot of Power Rangers. Now, worst villains. Oh man, there's so many bad villains. I love that it says Bandora Palace right there instead of Rita Repulsa. Like, they didn't even bother to edit that in post. Like, they did not realize that it was, you know, a problem. Let me think. worst villains? Well, actually, you know, I know Ivan Ooze is not canon, but I really like Ivan Ooze. I think for the movie's sake, I thought it was good. I thought he was a good villain. I think Paul Freeman played that pretty well. I'd love to meet him at a Power Morphicon sometime, you know? I think that'd be really nice. Just one time he comes over for Power Morphicon. Denied. Divatox sucks. The demons suck. I'd say Rita really sucks at her job for the most part. Not a whole lot positive to say about her, even though she is iconic. I think Rita's a great villain in certain aspects, but I also think she's pretty ineffective. So if you're talking about an effective villain, she's not, but iconic, yes. For those that don't know about Bandora Palace, that is a reference to the fact that Rita Repulsa's name in Japan is Witch Bandora. And that this is not an American publication. It's called Jew Ranger. Over in Japan, that Haim Saban was smart enough to bring over here. Thank God for Haim Saban, man. We wouldn't have had Power Rangers without him. Really changed a lot of people's lives. I mean, you really think about the impact of Power Rangers. Think about this. Like, all these different kids grew up wanting to be like characters on Power Rangers, or wanted to be Power Rangers. And then they went on to have careers like cops or firefighters because of Power Rangers. Solely, almost solely because of Power Rangers in a lot of ways. In a lot of aspects. I feel like for my day and age, for my 90s kiddom, this is just a great show. This is everything I could ever want out of a kid's show. If you're a parent, you gotta get your kids on Power Rangers ASAP. Like, this is just where it's at. And ultimately, it's a great message for kids about not quitting and giving it your best and being yourself. And always taking the high road. It teaches good lessons, good morals. I don't know why parents hated this show or why they thought it was too violent. I will beat this guy eventually. I'm rambling on instead of paying attention. I just don't think parents really understood how good this show was for kids. Kids could identify with somebody from the show. Absolutely. I did. Carter Grayson was mine. And Billy. Oh, come on already! Hit him! You had such an easy time the first time around, or second time. Dude, come on. Favorite Megazords. I'm trying to think of some other Megazords besides the original. Because I feel like I'm not really doing any of the other Megazords justice. Turbo's Megazord is good in so much that, like, you know, it fits the concept pretty well. You know, the Car Rangers thing was kind of cool. I like that Megazord, even though the show sucks. I like it. Zeos is... I like Zeos. The one from the movie is good, and the one from season 3. Oh! I didn't use my move. That was my bad. I could have beat him. I'm getting better. Trust me, I will do this. Never give up, man. Oh, I also identified with Danny Delgado, man. That was the guy I identified with a lot later on, while my Power Rangers fandom kind of waned. Danny Delgado was cool. Zach Guzman's a nice guy, too. I met him. I met a lot of people from Power Rangers, man. It was awesome. I mean, I have plenty of things to say about everybody I met, but not enough time. I did do a video after I came back and talked about my experience at Power Morphicon, if you want to check that out. That was a while back. I mean, I'd made that video in like September or August. Either one. The Wild Force Megazord's cool. I don't really hate many of the Megazords. The second one was cool. The Shogun Megazord. No, not the Shogun Megazord. It was the Thunder Zords. The Shogun Zords were the last ones. Shogun Zords, baby. Those came at the end. Dang it! Am I ever gonna beat this fucking guy? As soon as I got hit by that fucking orb, it was all over. Damn! Okay. I had him one time. I just can't take any damage from this first form at all. I feel okay after that. Let's see what happens. Oh, come on! Quit blocking everything! Haha, you missed. Oh, come on! Every time I jump, he fucking does some... Damn it! No! I was so close, I was doing good! You can't take any damage on the first form at all. That fucking orb move, man, is fucking devastating, and you can't jump. Don't jump. Don't even fucking try. That second form is impossible to jump on. Come on! Oh, good fucking God! This is not going good. This is not going well. I'm not gonna fucking win. I'll get through this first form, but I'm not gonna fucking win. I have to dodge that orb twice. Not once, twice, in order to beat him. I can't jump on him. Just gonna have to avoid him. I don't know what else to do. Just gonna have to get as far away from it as possible and come back. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, come on. I fucking hate you, dude. Are you kidding? I have a strategy in its principle. I can't fucking hit him though when it counts. Though if I just hit him with one of those two finishing moves. I'm not fucking quitting, man. I'm not going against the Power Rangers credo. I'm gonna fucking do this. I'm gonna fucking win. It's gonna be alright. It's just the way it's gonna go. This is how it has to be. Okay, go get him! Come on! I'm in the same boat as I was before. Just gonna have to jump and hope. Come on, man! Come on! Yes! Yeah! That's a wrap. Never give up. Well, this music, man. Look at those dance moves. Vulcan Skull just hanging out in the background. That was actually a pretty good Jason Narvi Skull impression. Look at those dance moves, man. He's so good. Hip Hop Aikido. There's Ernie hanging out in the background, too. Ernie's juice bar. But she's still alive. Finn. I love that, Finn. That's a pretty good beat-em-up game. I like this. I'm glad Power Rangers had a good game. Well. just now returning, Adrian? Man, you missed everything. Hold on, I'm about to sneeze. It's a wonder why they didn't just destroy Pandora's palace when they were on the moon. Questions. So many questions. Yeah, why didn't they just get rid of them? You know, they were on the moon, they had the Megazord up and everything. They just, for some reason, let Rita live. I don't get it. It's like they can't ever kill who they're trying to kill. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot else to say. I'm just killing time.